Noreaster. So we're going to get to that very quickly. We're also going to just very quickly go through some other issues in regards to the subways and stuff very quickly. Because of a tree on the tracks at Baychester Avenue, there is no true train service between Eastchester. I see Andy's randomness has just gone on the air. Andy's randomness has just gone on the air as well, everyone. So I'm going to take a look very quickly and see if we are live with him. So stand by, everybody. Okay, so for those of you on Andy's Randomness channel, welcome to our coverage of the problems persisting still on the Long Island Rail from yesterday. Before we get to that, we're just going to go very quickly through the subway problems and stuff. No true train service right now in both directions between Eastchester, Dyer Avenue, and East 180th Street because of a train on the tracks at Baychester Avenue. The shuttle bus is being provided between East 180th Street and Eastchester, Dyer Avenue. As an alternative, you can also take the BX12 select bus service, BX16, BX28, or BX30 buses as an alternative for service. Also, we have some problems on the 6 southbound 6 train to bypassing Middletown Road because of fallen tree on the platform at Middletown Road. Crews are on the scene. Now to the main things on the Long Island Railroad. We still have problems from yesterday. The good news in all this is the main line is back up and running today. It was shut down for 9 hours last night because of that fallen PSENG utility pole in the area of the Westbury station. It was shut down for 9 hours. There's some things I want to discuss on this. The Long Island Railroad, in my opinion, I know PSENG, in my opinion, I totally agree with Pine Powell LI on this. I totally agree with him on this. This is also PSENG. Long Island is at fault for this because he said this last night. There are wooden utility poles along the main line. It should have been done a long time ago. I totally 100% agree with him on that. But also, the Long Island Railroad is also at fault for this because it took them 3 hours, I believe. It took till like 8 o'clock. The suspension happened at 5:30 around last night. At 8:30, they finally, 3 hours later, they put shuttle trains in effect between Penn Station and Mineola. They should have had shuttle trains from the beginning, from Penn Station to Mineola, to at least provide service to those trying to get to those stations. Here's the other thing, too, which I don't understand. Here's the other thing I don't understand with this. Oyster Bay trains. I understand maybe the Nassau Tower had no power, and maybe that's why they had to suspend service. That's speculation at this point. That is absolute speculation. But if there was power at the Nassau Tower, they should have been, in my opinion, they could have run trains along the Oyster Bay branch last night. They could have, but they didn't. They did not provide service on the Oyster Bay branch, in my opinion. They could have if they got trains out of the way. If they moved trains, which I heard there were trains moving back. There was one train I know from Merlon Avenue that was basically going reverse back to Jamaica to provide customers with alternative service. They could have run Oyster Bay branch service last night. They could have, but they didn't. Also, another thing, for those trying to get between Mineola and Hicksville, from the beginning, this should have been shuttle bus service last night. They never, and there were reports at around midnight last night that there were shuttle buses at the Hicksville station. There was a report, and I tweeted this out last night. There were shuttle buses at around midnight last night at the Mineola station heading towards Hicksville. They took passengers. They should have been tweeting this out. They didn't. And they should have been providing shuttle bus service between Hicksville and Mineola and Hicksville in both directions to accommodate customers. They didn't do that. The Long Island Railroad, in my opinion, is so cheap. They are cheap, in my opinion. People pay $300-400 a month just to get service. And they should be, the Long Island Railroad, in my opinion, knew this was coming. They should have had a plan in place to make sure that they had shuttle buses available when the problems came up. If they knew it was going to take a while, there should have been shuttle buses, but there wasn't. They did not tweet out about this. And here's another thing, too, about this. Also, and Pine Power LI was actually talking about this last night, but they did not communicate this. There were reports, and I also tweeted this out last night. There was a Clever Commute report saying that there was actually a diesel mode train that actually was going from Babylon to Hicksville during the height of the evening rush last night. They should have had Z trains. You know, those Z trains, basically, you have those Z trains, you know, that go between Hicksville, you know, they had during the bridge replacement work at Post Avenue, they had a Z train basically for the Ronkonkoma branch customers. They should have had this and basically running between Hicksville and Babylon stations to at least get people to the Hicksville station, where from Hicksville, they could transfer at Hicksville for points east to either Port Jefferson, Huntington, or Ronkonkoma last night. They should have had that. They did not communicate that. So in my opinion, the Long Island Rail, especially the main line, did a very, very poor job last night in communicating with their passengers of what was going on. The only way I found out about this information was through the commuters on Twitter. Information. The Long Island Railroad communications team, along with the president, Patrick Nowakowski, did not do a good job. And I also blame, and I don't normally blame him for this, but I blame also MTA Chairman Joe Lhota. And I totally agree with Pine Power LI on this too. Pine Power LI was talking about this also last night. He said basically that there are plenty of buses from the Queens Village Bus Depot. And Andy Randomness also mentioned this. If you're listening on Andy Randomness' channel, you know what I'm talking about. There's a bus depot at the in Queens Village. There were plenty of buses, I'm sure, last night. They should have, we're going to take them out of service. They should have taken that out of service. And dispatchers should have told them, hey, we have a major problem on the main line, the Long Island Railroad. We need you to get to the Mineola station to accommodate customers. Or at least get you to Merlon Avenue, Floral Park, something like that. And let people get off the trains and allow them to get to their destinations. They should have had buses come out to Long Island to accommodate customers last night for those 9 hours that service was suspended. They didn't do that. And there was a report, I mentioned this on Twitter too. There was a report at midnight last night that there were cheese buses at Mineola that took people to Hicksville. And they didn't even know where they were going. So the Long Island, enough is enough. Patrick Nowakowski,
threat has been detected.
I've had enough with you. You need to go now. Resign or Joe Lhota, fire Nowakowski. I've had enough with your nonsense, Nowakowski. I've had enough. And the Babylon branch, there were only 2 trains on the Babylon branch that were canceled last night. All the other trains were running even late. The Babylon branch was running last night. The Babylon branch was the only branch basically in the entire system that had basically not a lot of problems last night. Only 2 canceled trains. The other ones were late. The Babylon branch is getting, in my opinion, preferential treatment. And I've been saying this for a while. They've been getting preferential treatment. And basically, I think Nowakowski is breaking federal laws for this, for giving Babylon branch preparational treatment. The only reason I take the Babylon branch, and I'm going to tell you honestly why I take the Babylon branch, it's not because I think they have the best service. Not because of that. Not at all. Not at all. The reason why I take the Babylon branch all the time when I go home from the city, from an island again, anything like that, is because the Babylon branch is the closest branch to my house. It's 3 miles. If I went from the Westbury station, it would be about a 4-mile walk. It's a 3-mile walk from the Merrick station. So that is why I take the Babylon branch, because it's the closest branch to my house. That's why I take the Babylon branch all the time. Not because I think it's the best service, but in my opinion, I keep on saying this. I'll keep on saying this until he's gone, Pelokowski. Pelokowski is breaking federal laws, in my opinion, for giving preparational treatment to the Babylon branch. He does not care about the upper branches of the system. He only cares about the pricky, the beep, and the branch. So enough is enough with you, Nowakowski. Resign now, or Joe Lhota, fire him. Now. I have had enough. I've had enough. And again, I apologize if I'm yelling. I am fed up with Nowakowski, with his preparational treatment to the Babylon branch. I've had enough. And I'm sure a lot of you Long Island Railroad riders are fed up too. And we will keep, Pine Powell LI, will keep Andy's randomness. Andrew Lee. And there's another one who just started today doing YouTube videos as well about this. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head who it is. He started doing it today. All 5 of us will keep on talking about these problems until Nowakowski is gone. Until Nowakowski is gone, we will keep on talking about these problems that keep on happening on the Long Island Railroad. Because we've all had enough. So let's get to the problems, shall we, on the Long Island Railroad. We have problems still on the Oyster Bay branch. This is a separate issue that was not even mentioned last night. They just started mentioning it this morning. And I don't know if this happened last night, or if this happened last night, or if it happened this morning. It may have happened last night. They never mentioned this. This may explain why the Oyster Bay branch is suspended. But service on the Oyster Bay branch is suspended right now due to multiple fallen utility poles and downed trees. Limited bus service is now being provided between Oyster Bay and Mineola while we await tree removal and utility line repairs by PSENG Long Island personnel. So that is the Oyster Bay branch basically is entirely suspended right now between Oyster Bay and Mineola. There's limited bus service being provided between Oyster Bay and Mineola. Also, this is something that I was talking about last night with the Port Washington branch, and the Long Island Railroad got onto this. Train service remains suspended between Port Washington and Great Neck due to down PSENG Long Island power lines and damage from a related fire. Limited bus service is now being provided between Port Washington and Great Neck while we await repairs by PSENG Long Island personnel. And we have a cancellation on the Greenport branch. The 12:06 p.m. train from Greenport due to Ronkonkoma at 1:30 is canceled due to a downed utility pole west of the Yaphank station. Bus service is being provided. And in other things on the Ronkonkoma branch, again, this weekend, there is no service on the Ronkonkoma branch between Ronkonkoma and Hicksville because they are doing work in relation to the double track project. The Ronkonkoma branch will not be back up and running until 12:46 a.m. Monday morning. So this will also be, please be advised, this will also be in effect next weekend. So if you are riding on the Ronkonkoma branch this week or next weekend, please use either the Port Jefferson or Ronkonkoma branches. And there is also bus service being provided between Ronkonkoma and Hicksville. On the West Hempstead branch, service on the West Hempstead stand still remains suspended in both directions due to a fallen PSENG Long Island utility pole in Malvern. Limited bus service is now being provided between Valley Stream and West Hempstead while we await repairs by PSE&G Rhode Island personnel. So here's a common thing with this. There's limited bus service. There should have been, in my opinion, bus service for the Port Washington and the West Hempstead branch and the Oyster Bay branch last night. There should have been bus service when this happened last night. But, we didn't provide bus service. They didn't provide bus service last night. They basically provided, this morning. So it's a common thing, basically, with the Long Island Railroad. They basically did not get buses available until this morning. They had buses from the Queens Village Depot they could have brought out to multiple locations. To the Oyster Bay branch customers, to the Port Washington branch customers, to the West Hempstead branch customers, and to the mainline customers. But they probably this is common with all these, they probably all have cheese buses. Basically, and I agree with Line Bow again on this. Mangano, with Nice Bus. Basically, when Nice Bus took over, and Transit took over for MTA, Cuomo basically said MTA buses are not allowed on Long Island. Period. They're booty. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I've had enough. The cheese buses should not be there. There should be coach buses from the MTA brought out here. You have plenty of those on the weekends. Why can't you just bring them out on a Friday night to accommodate customers on all these branches that are screwed up right now? So let's see what else. We're going to get now, actually very quickly, we're going to go to Metro North. Just very quickly, we're going to see, we have one issue that is on the New Canaan branch. There is bus service being provided on the New Canaan branch until further notice because of weather-related issues. So New Canaan branch bus service is in effect until further notice because of weather-related issues. Now, very quickly, before we get to our coverage of the Long Island Railroad problems, we're going to take a look very quickly and see how the airports are doing this afternoon. Very quickly, we're going to go through that. Boston has delays on departures headed to Boston because of the wind, an hour and 39 minutes. Newark into Newark, 44-minute delays averaging. Philadelphia, 42-minute delays averaging, all because of the wind. Low ceiling in San Francisco, but that's unrelated. The good news at least is LaGuardia and in the New York area, LaGuardia and JFK, no problems right now. That is some very good news, especially for my parents who are headed right now to JFK for their flight, which is scheduled to leave JFK at around 3:48 this afternoon. So very quickly, just see how the cancellations look for today so far. JFK, 33 flights canceled, 76 delayed. LaGuardia, 32 from JFK, 33 flights canceled, 32 at LaGuardia, out of LaGuardia today. Newark, 25. Into JFK, 50. Newark, 41. And LaGuardia, 16. So it's not as bad as it was yesterday. Obviously, that is no surprise. Yesterday, we had a lot of cancellations. So let's take a look very quickly at the total amount from yesterday, the cancellations that happened yesterday. From LaGuardia, 366 flights yesterday were canceled at LaGuardia Airport. 251 flights from Newark were canceled, and 237 flights at JFK were canceled. To LaGuardia, 363 flights were canceled yesterday. 257 into Newark canceled yesterday, and 229 flights into JFK Airport were canceled yesterday. So at least today, it's getting back to normal, at least at JFK, the three major airports today. Let's see. There is a quick thing. There was a problem also. Let me see if I can. I think that was mentioned somewhere earlier today. The Daily News. That's a good source. There was a problem on the port. Stand by. Somebody's calling. I got to answer. Um. Hello. Hello. Can I help you? I apologize about that. So there was a problem on the Port Jefferson Bridge earlier this morning. I'm going to very quickly see if I can bring up an article on that for you all, because there was a problem this morning on the Port Jefferson Bridge. Early this morning, around 2 o'clock this morning, there was a problem on the Port Jefferson Bridge. Oh, here we go. Got a Newsday article on this. Okay, so this is from Newsday. This is from Newsday from this morning. A person was found dead early this morning after a train struck a vehicle on the tracks just east of the Northport station. But it remains unclear. This is according to MTA officials. But it remains unclear if the person was killed by the impact of the train hitting the car, according to officials. MTA police said they are still investigating how the vehicle got onto the tracks. Preliminarily, it appears that the driver may have lost control of the vehicle and that the vehicle went down an embankment where it landed on the tracks. Police found the driver ejected from the vehicle, but it was not immediately clear whether the driver was ejected in the initial crash or by the impact of the train, according to officials. The vehicle was struck at about 2:10 a.m. this morning by an eastbound train on the Port Jefferson branch, according to officials. The vehicle's occupant was pronounced dead at the scene. Police have not identified the person. The person was the only passenger in the vehicle, and no one on the train was injured, according to officials. The crash temporarily suspended service on the Port Jefferson branch, and service was restored at about 7 o'clock this morning. In a tweet at about 2:40 this morning from the Long Island Railroad, the 12:54 a.m. train from Huntington due to Port Jefferson at 1:41 a.m. was being delayed east of Norfolk because of an unauthorized vehicle on the tracks. Photos from the scene showed a mingled overturned vehicle off to the side of the tracks. MTA police are continuing to investigate the crash, according to officials. So this is an unfortunate situation that happened on the Port Jefferson branch this morning. In my opinion, I don't think things like this. This at least with a car basically going out of control, going down the embankment. Things like this happen. I mean, if you're a Long Island Railroad passenger, you hear this, you can completely understand. This thing happens from time to time. And sometimes these types of things you can't completely prevent from happening. It's going to happen from time to time. But at least the main thing was it was suspended for probably about 4 hours. And the good thing in all this is service was restored by 7 o'clock this morning. So at least that wasn't as big of a problem. At least if it happened in the middle of the day, it would have been a lot more problems, obviously. So that's a good thing. At least that was restored by 7 o'clock this morning. So we're going to take a look now, see if we have an update. We don't have any updates right now, any updates from the Long Island Railroad, any updates on the restoration potentially of service. Very quickly, also, I'm just going to look at the PSE&G Long Island outage map and see what's going on with the... so we have right now, as of 1:17, that was 4 minutes ago, from PSE&G Long Island, over 13,000 people on Long Island are still without power. as of right now. So there's over 13,000 people without power still. 13,000 customers, not people. I apologize. 13,000 people still without power at this moment. So we're gonna take a look. I'm gonna take a look very quickly and see if we have any updates, at least on the at least where the power outages are occurring right now. I'm gonna start with the Port Washington branch. That's the main branch, obviously. One of the main branches of the Long Island Railroad. So I'm gonna take a look at the Port Washington. This is in the area Planner Manor. So this is a big one. This is the appears right about here. So this one, there are a few big ones up in that area. So there was one right here, 50 customers without power. That's scheduled to be restored by 2:45 a.m. tomorrow morning. There's another one in the Plandome area also. That's scheduled to be restored, 104 customers affected, scheduled to be restored by 12:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it looks like, based on this, between Greenport and Ronkonkoma, potentially, service may not be back, potentially. And I'm just speculating at this point, but service may not be back till at least tomorrow, potentially. I'm hoping earlier. I'm really hoping earlier, at least on that portion of the Long Island Railroad, service will be back before that. But I don't know. Again, I'm not a PSENG expert, so I'm just speculating based on what I'm seeing from the PSENG maps, what they're saying, when service may be back. So now we're going to look at the Oyster Bay branch. There are some along the Oyster Bay branch. There's one less than 5. Another one in the area of East Williston was less than 5. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm trying to get along the branch to see if I can find any that are really a big impact. We have one in the area of, also in the area between Albertson and East Williston, 53 customers affected. That's scheduled to be back by midnight tomorrow. Maybe that's midnight tonight. I'm not 100% certain. Let's see what else. We don't have. I'm not going to mention about that. We have one in the area of Roslyn Heights. 11 customers affected. Scheduled to be back by 4 p.m. tomorrow. Wow. We have one in the area of Roslyn, right near the Roslyn train area. That's scheduled to be back by 3 o'clock this afternoon. So that's a little bit good news in that area. Let's see what else we have. We have one with less than 5. We have one with 273. This is in the area of Greenville. Scheduled to be back by 12:30 in the morning tomorrow. We have one with 10. I'm not going to get into that. We have one in the area of, I'm not going to get into that. Let's see, we have 5 here. Let's see, one right along the tracks here. Let's see what we have here. We have one tree contact on a wire. 31 customers affected. Scheduled to be back by midnight tonight in that area. Let's see, we have one here. I'm not going to get into that. We have one in near Locust Valley. I'm not going to get into that. I'm trying to see where I can get the Long Island Railroad the train map so I can get an idea of the areas where. So again, I apologize. I'm just trying to get the. I'm trying to see where the. I don't exactly remember where the. But this goes along the Oyster Bay branch. So here we go. So we have one over here. So I don't know, but I would think possibly the Oyster Bay branch may also be back potentially tomorrow. You know, I would think hopefully West Hempstead, all the branches basically, and we're going to look at the West Hempstead area and see how the West, this is in the area of Malvern, so they at least specified in the area where this, wires are down on the West Hempstead branch. So we're going to take a look and see if we can get a look at the Malvern area and see if any of the area of Malvern may be without power along the tracks in that area. Okay, so I would think maybe I'm speculating at this point, but we may see service. I would think hopefully service will be back by Monday morning, but that's something we will keep a very close eye on as we get more information on what's going on, at least with the service, with all the branches. But we'll keep a very close eye on that. So we're going to keep an eye on Long Island Railroad. We're going to stay with you until about 2:30, 3 o'clock or so. So we have see what updates we can get you right now. So again, I apologize. I'm just trying to get you all the latest updates, going through my Twitter feed, see what we can get. Again, the Ron Conklin branch we know about. I'm just going to retweet that anyway, just so everybody could see that tweet. So I'm also looking just to see if there's any important information I want to tell you about right now. So that way keep everybody updated on everything that's going on. Oh, this is Sprint customers. This is a huge thing. Sprint 19 minutes ago tweeted this out. Some customers in the Northeast may be experiencing a disruption in service due to widespread commercial power outages resulting from Winter Storm Riley. Our teams are on the ground working aggressively to restore service as quickly and safely as possible. So that's from Sprint at Sprint Care. That is the official support team of Sprint that tweeted that out about 19 minutes or so ago. We have an update in regards to Boston Logan Airport. Very quickly, I'm going to go through Boston Logan Airport ground delay program right now, averaging delays of 99 minutes. 99 minutes at Boston Logan. So that's an hour and 39-minute delay right now, averaging at Boston Logan's airport, heading into Boston Logan. So if you're expected to head to Boston Logan, please be advised there is at least an hour and 40-minute delay on arrivals at Boston Logan because of the wind conditions. Still very windy up in Boston, I'm presuming, right now. So that's something, obviously, we're going to keep an eye on as well. See what else we can get to in regards to updates. Again, we're on the air again with our continuing coverage. If you're joining us again live on Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, also stream simulcasting live on at Andy's Randomness's YouTube channel right now with our continuing coverage of the major the problems we are still having on the Long Island Railroad as a result of yesterday's Noreaster. So we have a lot of problems going on. So we are continuing to update you as I get information from all the commuters that may tweet information out as a result of the problems that have been going on since last night. We had a lot of problems last night. At least one of the problems on the main line has been resolved. 9 hours, it was resolved. I'm not going to get into what I said earlier. Again, if you heard me, what I said earlier, again, I apologize for getting very angry, but you know, if you hear what I said, I'm sure you do not blame me for getting angry like that. I don't that often, but I was not too happy with what was going on last night with the Long Island Railroad, how they handled this last night, I think. But you won't blame me if you hear it. So, but again, I apologize again for that, but I had to. So, we're keeping an eye again. So we have obviously the problems. We're going to do every 15 minutes or so again, updates on what's going on. We'll be with you again through about 2:30 or so. And then we'll leave the air because I have other things. I have a NASCAR race scheduled for 3 o'clock. The pre-race starts at 2:30. So I want to at least listen to the pre-race at 2:30. So we'll be off the air at 2:30 most likely today. We'll come back on the air if the problem still persists later tonight, probably be later tonight at a time to be determined, because I will be after, probably not after the race, but probably around 5:30 or so, be headed out for, actually, I apologize. No, the race, actually what we'll do is, around 2:30, I'm going to leave the air because I rather, it's qualifying right now. We're going to leave the air at 2. You know what? We're going to leave the air at 2. We'll come back. We'll, I think we'll come back. What we'll do is we'll come back because I don't really want to, go through, all the problems. We'll come back probably around later tonight because I don't want to, go so long with the coverage today. We'll come back later tonight. Time to be determined, but we'll stay on the air till 2 o'clock or so, and then we'll come back later tonight, probably. I think we'll come back late. Actually, you know what? We'll come back. I think our plan is we'll come back at 3:30. We will come back at 3:30. Actually, no, we're not going to come back at 3:30. I'm sorry. We're going to come back then later tonight, I think. What we'll do is we'll come back later tonight. That's the plan. We'll come back later tonight with an update again because it's just going to be a lot going on today. There's a lot going on today. I mean, I have some other things. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I think what we're going to do is we'll come back at 2:30, actually. We'll come back at 2:30. I do have to leave the air at 3:30. Again, I do have to leave the air at 3:30. We'll leave the air at 2. We'll come back at 2:30. We'll take a half-hour break. We'll come back at 2:30. And then we'll stay on the air till about 3:30. And then I do have to leave the air right at 3:30 for a couple of reasons. First reason, obviously, the NASCAR race starts today, actually, at 4 o'clock. So the pre-race starts at 3:30. That's one reason. The other reason is my parents' flight is scheduled to take off at around 3:48. So I do need to leave the air because I do need to, obviously, you don't blame me for this. I have to keep an eye on their flight. That's a very important fact. I do have to. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to come back later tonight. I don't normally say we'll come back later tonight, but we're going to come back later tonight, actually, because a lot of things going on today. And also, I do need to keep an eye on their flights, too. The plane is scheduled to, actually, let me try to see if I can, just for now, go to AA.com. I apologize, everyone. I'm just going off track, but I do need to keep an eye on their flight. So, see when it's coming in, so that way, if I need to, I can leave the air. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll leave the air at 2 o'clock. I will not be coming back today because I will come back later tonight, probably after they get back. After they get in, I will come on the air. We'll probably be late tonight. We'll come back on the air. That's the plan. We're not going to be coming back on the air at 2:30, as I was saying, because a lot of things going on today. So still the same problems on all the subways and stuff. New Jersey Transit, thank goodness. New Jersey Transit had this major problem yesterday into and out of New York Penn in regards to that Amtrak overhead wire problem. That was finally resolved, I think, around midnight, 12:30 in the morning. So that would happen, I believe, around 6 o'clock. That happened for 6 hours. There were delays on New Jersey Transit. So just quickly go through New Jersey Transit problems. Again, on our closest schedule, into and out of New York Penn, that Amtrak overhead wire issues, that was finally fixed around 12:30 in the morning. Morrison Exit Line, Montclair Boone Line are back on our close. Atlantic City Rail Branch line is suspended still between Cherry Hill and Philadelphia because of Amtrak wire issues. Substitution buses is being provided. PACJO, which is the Philadelphia system, is accepting transit rail tickets and passes. Atlantic City Rail Line is operating on a close between Atlantic City and Cherry Hill. Eastbound Morrison Exit Line trains will board customers on the westbound platforms at Denville and Morris Plains stations only. There is still system-wide cross-honoring today on New Jersey Transit. However, there's no cross-honoring now on PATH. No no cross on-ramp path after that problem last night with Amtrak overhead wire problem. River line remains suspended between WRTC. I don't know if remember what it's and Waterfront Entertainment Complex because of that downpour on the tracks. There is still substitution bus service in place. Routes 196, 197 resumes regular route service to and from Warwick, New York. So that is some very good news if you are Route 196, 197 bus customers. So back to the Long Island Railroad, just very quickly. Again, we will be leaving the air at 2 o'clock. We will not be coming back till later tonight. A couple reasons. NASCAR race today. Also, my parents are leaving at around 3:48. I got to keep an eye on their flight for the afternoon to make sure they, I like to keep an eye on their flight, obviously, so I do need to keep an eye on that. So that's why we're not going to come back on the air till later tonight. At L.E. Kroll just posted something. When will it be restored? This is okay. So she's talking about the Port Washington Great Neck Branch. I am speculating, and I'm speculating. This is not 100% accurate, but I would think that it may not be restored until tomorrow. It may not be restored till tomorrow because they have to get PSENG crews there to fix the issues before they can even get service back. So hold on 1 second. I'm just going to tweet this. I'm actually going to just quote this. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Based on what I'm seeing, it won't be till tomorrow because PSEGLI needs to fix the wires before the LIRR can restore service. Okay, so that's on the. I just wanted to tweet that out. So that's an update again. I'm speculating. I'm not 100% certain on this, but it may not be restored till tomorrow. Let's see what else. We're gonna go very quickly through my Twitter feed again. See if we can get you any updates. Also, we're following the situation at the White House. So we're gonna give you any updates as I get it from my sources through. And yet again, with the White House situation, just very quickly, the national media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, last I checked, we're not covering this, of course. So just, again, stay with me if you want updates on the White House situation. I'll give it to you as I get more information on the situation at the White House. Stephen Portnoy from CBS News tweeted out a couple of minutes ago they were having a special report at 1:31. That already happened, so maybe we'll get some. I can't get anything right now, so I apologize for that. I wish I could, but I don't have access right now for some prepared reason. I'm having I always have these problems with Twitter. I don't know why when I use the mobile site. So I apologize for that. We don't have any other updates right now. So again, we are continuing to monitor the situation on the Long Island Railroad again. We have all the problems still going on from yesterday's Noreaster. So we are continuing to monitor it again. Okay, we have an update. Wait a minute. No update. I'm sorry. No update from DSE and GLI. They posted, they should be updating it probably every 15 minutes. They usually update it. So every 15 minutes, I'll give you updates on PSENG LI's status in regards to the power outages. Looking at my town, East Meadow, I'm just not going to go through every town right now, but I'm going to go through at least some of the areas. My town, at least for East Meadow, in my area, There's one in the area of Park Lane and Ludington Road by Richmond Road, which is right around the corner from me. There's a less than 5 customers without power in that area, estimated to be back by tomorrow at 8:15 in the morning. There's one also on Tyler Avenue, right by Merrick Avenue. That's expected to be back by Monday at noon. Wow. We have 8 customers affected. I noticed that my mom was actually mentioning that to me last night. There was a down wire, a power pole or something in that area. Belmore Avenue, right by Chester Lane, that area, right by Belmore, Merrick Avenue. That's 8 customers are affected. They're expected to have power back by midnight tonight. There's one also in the area of Mark Lane. In that area, Mark Lane, expected to be back by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We have a huge one. Wow, we have a huge one in the area of Cameron Lane and Blackstone Avenue. 11 customers affected, expected to be back by 12:45 a.m. tonight. And we have one of those still big ones in my area. We have a few big ones. Well, we have one big one in North Belmore. I'm not going to go into North Belmore, but I'm just trying to see if we have any updates in regards to. But we don't really. We're going to keep an eye on it. We'll update you every 15 minutes or so on PSENG LI's status in regards. Oh, we have some new information regarding the Long Island Rail. MCK 7283 just tweeted at LIRR. The Center Avenue Station crossing gate seemed to be short circuit. Went down and got stuck with chimes cutting out. Okay, Center Avenue. I believe Center Avenue is along the Long Beach line. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's along the Long Beach line. Yeah, that's along the Long Beach line. So we have some new information on that. So that's interesting. Seems there may be a problem with the Center Ave crossing. This could affect the Long Beach branch. Okay, so that's an update. That is new information from I don't know if he's a commuter or just happens to be, going across that crossing gate and just happened to notice it. I don't know, but that's something we'll keep an eye on. I tweeted out this could affect the Long Beach branch, but I will be keeping an eye on it. Again, we'll leave in the air at 2 o'clock. I will be still tweeting out information as I get it from the Long Island Railroad. Any commuters, if there's any information relevant that I really want to bring up, I'll tweet it out at MattCamper1993 throughout the afternoon. And I will be back with you again after I leave at 2 o'clock. We'll be back with you later tonight. Probably, I'm thinking, probably around, it'll probably be at least after 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. I'll be back with you. Probably after 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that. The problem still persists. We'll be back with you later tonight with more coverage. But again, we'll be with you again as problems continue to persist. We'll be with you throughout the weekend to keep you updated as information becomes available from the Long Island Railroad. Tomorrow, again, I will be available in the morning hours. I will not be available after probably 11:50, something along those lines tomorrow morning. I do have an event. Kiwanis function. Strange enough, even though my parents are out of town, I have Kiwanis stuff going on this weekend. I have a huge fundraiser commitment tomorrow for most of the afternoon up in Woodbury, so I will not be available. I'll be with you. If the problem still persists, we'll be back with you. Again, we'll be with you if I can tomorrow morning, but we'll be back with you if the problem still persists tomorrow night. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. Oh, new info at X_Nils at Woodside. The 134 to Huntington didn't even stop. What's going on? It was posted and scheduled, and your boys have no clue. Interesting. So that 134 to Huntington, I think this is the 134 from N to Huntington, was scheduled according to this passenger stop at the Woodside station, but it never stopped at Woodside. So this is very interesting information. Yes, that train was supposed to stop at Woodside. Why did that train never stop at Woodside? That is a very interesting question. Why did that train never stop at Woodside? But that is very interesting. So that's interesting. So let me just tweet this out. Another epic fail by the LIRR. This time, it looks like it was by the crew. So that's an update from a user. Again, that 134 from Woodside. So there's a train from Penn Station to Huntington. I'll give you the exact train that was scheduled to make a stop at Woodside. I think that's supposed. I'm going to take a look and see if that train is scheduled to stop. Normally, also have this weekend the work along the Ronkonkoma branch. So there's a possibility this train may not normally be scheduled to stop there. Yeah, here's the thing. It's a 122. 122 from Penn Station. Normally, on a normal weekend, if there wasn't that work on the Ronkonkoma branch, that train normally wouldn't be stopping at Woodside. But this weekend, because of the work, that train was supposed to stop at Woodside at they had hours to get home from NYC yesterday. The incompetence of the hashtag LIR and hashtag PSEGLI in full display yesterday. Whoops. This person may have just deleted it. Okay. Some good news. Just got an update from PSEG Long Island on the power outage situation. It's gone down. Just under 12,000 people now do not have power. Just under 12,000 people now do not have power. So that is a little bit of good news in regards to PSEGLI. So again, that was updated at 1:47. So we're expecting another one at 2:02. We'll stay on the air after 2 o'clock just for a couple of extra minutes so we can give you the updated number potentially from PSEG Long Island on the power outage situation. So I have the map up, so we'll keep an eye on that as we get the update, which we'll expect around 1:02 or so. We'll give you that number as soon as I get that from PSEG Long Island. Very interesting. St. John's game, 53-47, with 1:25 to go in the second half. I'm going to take a look and see what's going on with that game. So, as you know, I'm a huge St. John's fan, so I'm just kind of curious. So it's very interesting. Oh, he got fouled there. There you go. Okay, I apologize. I'm just also trying to keep an eye on the St. John's game. I'm going to multitask and do coverage here, so I apologize for that again. Again, if you're joining us again right now, live on Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, also, I believe, still simulcasting live on at Andy's Randomness' channel. I believe. Yes, still live on at Andy Randomness' channel. We are continuing to follow the huge problems on the Long Island Railroad. Still suspensions on the Oyster Bay between Great Neck and Port Washington and West Hempstead branches because of problems persisting from yesterday's nor'easter. So we are continuing to monitor the situation. As we get more information, we'll bring it to you. Again, we will be leaving the air just after 2 o'clock. We're going to leave the air probably right after the latest update from PSE&G Long Island on the power outage situation, which we should be expecting at 2:02. The last power outage update, again, I just said it moments ago. I'll say it again. It's gone down for over 12,000. It's now just under 12,000 people without power now across Long Island. Very quickly, in case you're an Andy Randomness viewer, I'm going to very quickly just take a look at the Con Edison power outage situation and see how everything's going with Con Ed very quickly, in case if you're a Andy Randomness viewer and you're asking yourself what's going on with the Con Edison power outage situation. I'm going to give that to you. So just bear with me, everybody. I'm going to give you that update for right now on the Con Edison power outage situation that's available to us right now. So bear with me. I'm trying to get that up if I can. I think just give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to get that up on. Again, I'm going through my laptop. So again, I apologize about that. I'm just trying to get that up for you, everybody. So just bear with me. I'm getting that for you right now, if I can, in regards to the Con Edison power outage situation, so we can give you the latest update on Con Edison's power outage situation. While we wait for that, let's see if we have any other updates on anything that we need to know. Also, again, we're following some a breaking story also from the White House. As we get more information on that, we'll give it to you. Andy Randomness. If you're an Andy Randomness viewer, he just retweeted this out. I'm going to read this to you. This is from New York City Bus. I'm actually going to also retweet this out. Q33, Q47, Q48, Q72, the select bus, Q60 select bus service and the Q70 select bus buses are running with delays in both directions because of the traffic conditions at LaGuardia Airport. So again, Q33, Q47, Q48, Q72, Q60 select bus service and Q70 select bus service buses are running with delays in both directions because of the traffic conditions at LaGuardia Airport. No surprise, there's a lot of traffic at LaGuardia Airport today, since a lot of flights were canceled yesterday because of the nor'easter. So that is absolutely no surprise, in my opinion, that there is a lot of traffic today. Andy just Randomness also just tweeted out. You're an Andy Randomness viewer. I'm going to read this to you. Actually, I'll get the information for you right now on this. This is in regards to the Q25 bus. So let me just get that up on the MTA website for you. This is in regards to, again, the Q25. So the Q25 buses are being detoured because of flooding right now on 28th Avenue and Linden Place. So the detours are as follows. College Point bound Q25 buses are being detoured via Linden Place, left on Whitestone Expressway Service Road, right on Euclid Place, and regular route resumes. Jamaica bound Q25 buses are being detoured via Union Street, right on Whitestone Expressway Service Road, left on College Point Boulevard, left on Northern Boulevard, right on Main Street, and then we'll resume regular route. So again, Q25 buses are being detoured right now because of flooding on 28th Avenue and Linden Place. So that is, we have delayed train on the Hempstead branch, the 133 train from Hempstead due to Atlantic Terminal in Brooklyn at 2:07 is 40 minutes late because of earlier equipment trouble. So we have equipment trouble with the Hempstead train. So I was trying to get the condensate power outage up, but I could not get it up. We have more reports on this 134 train from Woodside. At Woodson at LIRR, the 134 from Woodside to Westbury didn't stop at Woodside, and the worker has no info. When is the next train from Woodside to Westbury or Hicksville? Okay, so let's take a look at that. I'm going to try to see if I can give... So, since that person has asked that, I'm going to, if you're watching and you want to know when the next train from Woodside is on the Huntington branch, I'll give that to you right now. Let me just take a look and see. The next one is scheduled to depart. If you're going to Westbury, you're going to need to wait another hour. If you're going to Westbury, you're going to need to wait another hour. If you're going to Hicksville, there should be a eastbound train that leaves Penn Station. It just left at 1:52. It's scheduled to stop at Woodside at 2:04. That is scheduled to get into Hicksville at 2:39. So that is the answer to your question. It should be a 2:04 train to Hicksville. Just hold on, everybody. I'm just going to quote this. If you need to get to Hicksville from Woodside, take the 2:04 p.m. train to Huntington. Okay, another tweet from Kenny Newby at LIRR. Did the 134 train from Penn due to Huntington ever stop at Woodside? Tons of people waiting and it never stopped. According to multiple reports are saying that train apparently never stopped. According to reports I'm hearing, that train never stopped at Woodside. Where do you need to go? Go to. Where do you need to go to? Okay. So we are getting multiple reports right now that 134, this is another epic fail by the Long Island Railroad. I think this is the crew that's at fault for this. The crew is at fault for this because it specifically says on the schedule, on the revised schedule, that 122 from Penn to Huntington was supposed to stop at Woodside at 1:34. But there's a possibility that train may have sped through the station without stopping. So, obviously, the crew, I think, is at fault for this. Again, the main line, the Huntington branch, got screwed. People at Woodside got screwed on the main line because of this. And now they have to wait either, depending on if they need to get to Westbury. Westbury, or which one was it? Westbury or Merlon Avenue, you now have to wait another hour. If you need to get to Hicksville or Mineola, at least luckily you only have to wait another half hour, which means that train should be getting into Woodside in about 4 minutes at 2:04. Oh, okay, so St. John's has just lost. They're now in the let's see how Xavier's doing. Xavier is, oh no. The poll is. Oh no! I got to take a look at this. The poll. Oh, this is going to be. Okay, I apologize, everyone. I'm just trying to take a look at this DePaul game because if DePaul wins, St. John's has to play in the 7-10 game. If Xavier wins, then St. John's would be playing in the 8-9 game against Georgetown on Wednesday. So I apologize, everyone. I'm just oh, this is on PATH Trains. PATH Trains. They just tweeted. PATH Trains just tweeted this out. I'm not gonna read it because it's just a little confusing. So I'll just tweet it out, and if you want to take a look, just take a look at it. We are expecting in a moment another update from PSENG Long Island on the latest number of power outages. That should be in about a minute. We should be getting that about now. We'll see. Nope, they have not updated their website yet, so we will wait for that update, and then we will probably at that point leave the air because, as I said before, I got other things today to do. My parents are scheduled to leave. Their plane should be arriving at JFK within the next hour, so I got to keep an eye on that, of course. Oh, this is support, actually. I like that, but I'm not going to read that because that's really not really something that I need to read on the air. We should be getting a update, again, as I said, from PSD and G Long Island within the next minute on the latest power. We should have been by now, but we haven't gotten that update yet. So, again, we're expecting that. As soon as we get that, we'll bring it to you. And then we'll see from there. We may leave the air, but I'll be back with you later tonight with more coverage. I'm not going to get into that. There's some breaking news in regard to the Florida situation. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not here to discuss that. If you're wondering, I'm sorry, but I don't really want to discuss this. That's not really my priority. So again, we are covering the major problems again on the Long Island Railroad. We've been since 5:30 last night. We haven't been on the air, if you're wondering, for the last almost 24 hours. That would be very unusual. But okay, a little bit of an update from PSENG Long Island within the past few moments. The power outage number has gone down again by 23 customers. So 23 customers in the last 15 minutes have gotten their power back. So it looks like another area has gotten their power back. So that is some very good news. So 23 customers have gotten their power back within the last 15 minutes from PSENG Long Island. So that is some very good news to report. But we are keeping an eye on that. But we're going to stay on the air. I'm just going to stay on the air till the end of this. Let's see if we have any further updates, and then we're going to leave the air. And for those of you on Andy Random's channel, I'm going to turn it back over to Fresh Meadows, to Andy, and let him continue the coverage. I'll listen into his coverage at that point. And it looks like St. John's is going to be playing Georgetown. So if you're wondering, if you're interested in the Big East tournament, it looks like we're going to probably get an update on this in just a second. But it looks like since DePaul has lost to Xavier by 3 points, 65-62, it looks like St. John's will be playing Georgetown in the 8-9 game on Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden in the Big East tournament. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 o'clock. I will be at Madison Square Garden Wednesday night for the Big East tournament, and also all day on Thursday. So this will be a fun game Thursday night, it looks like. Wednesday night, if that's the case, St. John's and Georgetown play each other for a third time on Wednesday night. And it looks like DePaul will be playing Marquette in the 7-10 game. That's scheduled for around 9:30 on Wednesday night. I will be leaving, if you're wondering, after the Georgetown game, because St. John's Georgetown game, because I will be, I need to get home to basically get ready for the next day, because I'll be at MSG all day. So it looks like that is the case, but I'll let you know as soon as I get more information on that. But I'll be turning it back over to Andy in just a few seconds. I just want to let you know about see if we get any official brackets updates. We'll wrap up our coverage in just a few seconds. I just want to make sure we get that. I get that information correct. I do not want to say the wrong info, but I believe that is what the case is. St. John's will be playing. Okay, hold on. Okay, we have some new information. St. John's just tweeted this out just a second ago. I'm going to read this to you from St. John's. If you are a Big East fan and you want to know, if you're a St. John's fan, you're watching, you want to hear this. With Xavier's win over DePaul, St. John's is locked into the 9 seed for next week's Big East tournament. Johnnies have a first-round date with Georgetown Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at Madison Square Garden. So it is official. St. John's tweeted out they will be playing Georgetown Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden at 7 p.m. I will be at the Garden Wednesday nights, of course, cheering on the Johnnies. So, that is at least a good thing on that. So again, St. John's will be playing Georgetown Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden at 7 o'clock, in case anybody is interested in taking a look at that game. Again, that will be on FS1 beginning at 7 p.m. I will be at the game myself as well. So we're going to wrap up our coverage for now. I will be back later tonight with continuing coverage on problems on the Long Island Railroad. I know for those of you on Andy's Randomness channel, I'm going to send it back over to Fresh Meadows in Queens to Andy and allow him to continue the coverage. And of course, for those of you watching on Periscope, Twitter, and my YouTube channel, we'll be back later tonight with more coverage of the problems going on the Long Island Railroad. So for now, actually, you know what? I am having some problems. And you know what? For those of you on Periscope and Twitter, we will be live on Periscope and Twitter potentially later tonight. I may do a broadcast later tonight on Periscope and Twitter. I'm going to try my hardest to see if I can do a YouTube broadcast maybe. I don't think I am able to. So we're going to have to do is we're going to do a live Periscope broadcast later tonight, I think. So we'll do a Periscope broadcast possibly later tonight. It's going to be 8 o'clock. So I don't know. I'm trying to debate if we're going to do a live update tonight on Periscope or not. But you know what we're going to do? I'm going to be tweeting for the remainder of the day. I'm going to tweet for the remainder of the day, so I apologize to everyone. I'm going to tweet for the remainder of the day. So we'll be back with you actually tomorrow. So if you want more updates, please follow me at MattCamper1994 on Twitter. I will be tweeting for the remainder of the day, and I will be back with you again tomorrow because I am not able probably to broadcast on YouTube that much longer today. So I will be tweeting out throughout the rest of the day on Twitter at MattCamper1994 as I get updates Right now, I'm going to send it back to Andy and Fresh Mouse for those of you on Andy's Randomness. Everybody else on YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Please follow me on Twitter, MattKamper1994, for any further updates for the remainder of the day. And I will be back with you again on YouTube and Periscope tomorrow. So please follow me, MattKamper1994. I'll be tweeting information out for the remainder of the day. Take care, everybody. And I send it for those of you on the Andy Randomness channel right now back to Andy and Fresh Mouse. Have a good day, everybody. Andy, take it away.
Okay, let me make sure my mic is on. I don't want to screw anything up. Okay, looks like my mic is being picked up. Let's just double check. Okay, yes, we're back on the air. All right, everyone, this is Andrew Pollack coming to you from the Random Studio in Fresh Meadows. That was Matt Kamper just ending up his footage on Periscope. Very good job today by Matt as usual. As you all know, Matt is an expert on mass transit issues, and he's all over the Big East tournament today. St. John's just lost. We just heard him talk about that. I was scoreboard watching. I was able to go on Internet Explorer and keep an eye on the score. So I was using Chrome to pick up the live feed of Matt in East Meadow. Let's just talk about buses in Queens, because we have very big problems right now with the buses in Queens. Where do we even begin? First up, what Matt was saying earlier, following LaGuardia bus routes are affected right now. Going to and from LaGuardia Airport, the Q33, Q47, Q48, Q72, Select Bus Service 60, and Select Bus Service 70 buses are running with delays to and from LaGuardia Airport because of traffic conditions, and especially the conditions on the Grand Central Parkway. So I can already imagine. I'm very familiar with the area, of course, especially how sometimes I do take the Triborough Bridge, most cases. But I'm already imagining how clogged up the area is, probably after exit 10, which is the Long Island Expressway. So that's probably a nightmare where exit 8 and 7 is, because exit 6 is the BQE. So I could already imagine how bad the traffic is over there. Also, the Q25, that's being detoured as well. For people trying to get onto Whitestone right now, this is the way the bus is going. Oh, College Point, excuse me. For College Point bound riders, this is your route right now. You are going on Linden Place, then making a left onto the Whitestone Expressway Service Road, right on Ulmer Place, and going onto the regular route. Now, if you are coming from College Point and are trying to get into Jamaica, this is your route right now. The bus is going on Ulmer Street, right on Whitestone Expressway Service Road. It is making a left on College Point Boulevard. And get this, it's now making a left turn in Flushing on Northern Boulevard, and then making a right on Main Street in Flushing and following its regular route. So thankfully, the good news is, if you're in Flushing, if you're at Main Street in Roosevelt right now and you're trying to get the Q25, the good news is the Q25 is still running in downtown Flushing. So that's the good news. Also, Matt didn't mention this about the Q31, and I was checking my emails. Let's talk about that, and then we'll also talk about the Q43, because the Q43 is also having problems. Remember, we're still dealing with a lot of downed trees today here in Northeast Queens. So just be aware that if you are driving today on any local roads, please be aware that you might see Con Edison removing some routes. So please keep that in mind. So anyhow, Q30 and Q31. I tweeted this last night before I went to bed. We still have that down pole on Homeland Street and 84th Road. So I'm wondering, okay, this is an issue that has been going on since the Noreaster last night. I'm left wondering, why hasn't Con Edison gotten rid of that down pole? That's very concerning. So right now, I got an email from the MTA. Oh, this just in. This just in. I just got an email from NYCT Transit. Okay, so this is the latest information I got 10 minutes ago from NYC Transit. This is how the route's still going to follow. Detour is as follows. Jamaica-bound buses are going on Utopia Parkway, then making a left onto the Grand Central Parkway Service Road, right onto Midland Parkway, right on Hillside, and then following its regular route from 169th Street by the subway station. Now, if you are going to Little Neck by Glenwood Street, or if you're going to Bayside, Francis Lewis Boulevard, 27th Avenue, this is your route right now. You are going on Hillside Avenue. You are turning right on 164th Street, right onto the Grand Central Parkway Service Road going eastbound, left onto Home Lawn Street, and then following the regular route. And then last but not least, the Q43 is impacted too. What happened on the Q43, you may ask? We have a down tree on Hillside Avenue at 231st Street in Belrose. So this is the detour right now. This is only impacting Jamaica-bound buses. This is not impacting Floral Park-bound buses. Jamaica-bound buses are going on Hillside Avenue, making a left on Winchester Avenue, right on Braddock Avenue, left on Hillside Avenue, and regular route. Okay, the next question I want to find out is this impacting the N22? Because keeping in mind, the N22 goes express past Langdale Street. And I mentioned this before when I had that problem with the Q43 that time. So let's just see if NICE has any information on that route. Let's go on NICE's website, because I'm sort of curious. If you type in NICE on Google, it just gives you the definition. Okay, I'm trying to see if the N22 is being affected because of this, because I know the N22 goes on that route. So that might be a problem. Okay, this, I think I got 4 service routes on nicebus.com. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any relevant information about the N22. See, this is what I don't get about NICE, is that NY City Bus is letting their customers know about the Q43, but why is it NICE letting their customers know about the N22 being detoured? The N22 is probably being detoured because of the down tree in Belrose. Come on, NICE Bus, step up your game, for crying out loud. Yeah, Matt Kamper just tweeted me, no service alert regarding the N22 on Hillside Avenue. Let me check NICE's Twitter on my phone, because it'll be too long to pull it up on the computer. Okay, I don't see NICE Bus Twitter feed. That's odd. I thought NICE Bus. I saw Intercounty Express Bus. I don't think they have a Twitter handle. Well, let me see if I can Google it. That would be very odd. I can't find it. Because they should be letting their customers know that the N22 might be getting detoured. Oh, this is awful. At the NICE Bus is not tweeting. This is awful. They're not letting their customers know about the N22. That's very odd. And again, this is what happens when you have MTA not running your bus system in Nassau. Okay, so right now, that's the information I can give you on the buses. That's the information I can give on buses. Matt also didn't mention this about New Jersey Transit. This is a very important service alert for New Jersey Transit. This involves the pedestrian overpass at Newark Penn going into Prudential Center. So the following impacts will be taking place. If you are going to the Seton Hall game tonight against Butler, and if you are going to the New Jersey Devils game tomorrow night against Las Vegas. That's going to be a very hot ticket tomorrow. Please be advised that the pedestrian overpass at Newark Penn is closed this weekend due to repairs. So please keep that in mind. If you are at Newark Penn, please walk downstairs to the street and they will be able to get you to Prudential Center. So that is very unfortunate that they're doing construction work during two big events at Prudential Center this weekend. Well, that's interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to leave the air in about a couple minutes, but I figured since Matt was talking about college basketball, I want to let everybody know, because many of you know by now I'm a Stony Brook fan. Stony Brook tonight will be playing against Albany. So if you are an ESPN customer, please be in mind that Stony Brook versus Albany will be on ESPN3 tonight. So that means the game will only be available on Watch ESPN. Thankfully, I have a friend who has an Amazon Fire Stick, so if he'll let me watch the game tonight at his house, he will let me, or I can watch on his computer. Not the end of the world. Okay, let's see. Right now, UMass Lowell is playing UMBC. The next game is New Hampshire at Hartford. So this is the American East Tournament. So let's see if we can get an update right now in the American East. Okay, I think I got an update. Halftime, second half, UMBC is leading by 1 point against UMass Lowell. Also, for Hofstra fans tomorrow, one of my friends was sending me a message on Facebook about this. Hofstra will be playing tomorrow. Let me make sure I got the team right, because I don't want to disappoint her, because she'll be stunned. Yes, tomorrow, Hofstra will be playing UNCW in the CAA tournament. That's tomorrow night at 8:30. The bad news is the game is only going to be available online, just like the American East. So that's not the problem. Also, ACC tournament. I want to find out when Syracuse is playing. I don't even know if Syracuse lost today. I know St. John's lost. Okay, so Syracuse.com just gave out the information. So we're going to pull that up in a matter of moments. Let's just see if Syracuse basketball can be searched. I'll leave it on that note, because I really do have to leave the air soon, because I don't want to miss the Big Ten tournament, or I might just get ready to leave my house soon. So let me just see. Syracuse, Clemson. Oh, okay. Syracuse is playing Clemson right now, and it's only the first half, so that's not a big deal. This is odd. I can't load it. I may have to use Chrome. Excuse me, everyone. Let me see if I can pull it up on Chrome. Okay, there we go. There we go. This is just an article on Syracuse.com. 2018 ACC Tournament Bracket live updates during the final day of the regular season. You know what's so odd about the American East Tournament? My cousin's alma mater, Binghamton, is not playing. That's odd. Let me find out, because I'm sure they're curious to find out if Binghamton even has a chance to make the tournament. Let's find out. They are the ones who live in Stevensonville, might I say, Maryland. So I'm trying to find out. Are they playing? Let me find out. Binghamton basketball. Let me find out. Huh. That's odd. I don't even think Binghamton is in the American East tournament. Let me double check. Because I know they are in the American East. It's just that I can't figure it out. But later tonight, we should find out what the ACC tournament's going to look like. Pretty much the Big East is figuring itself out at the moment. Let me see. I apologize, everyone. I thought that I would figure out when. Oh! LIU Brooklyn defeated Fairleigh Dickinson today. NEC tournament. Wagner's playing Robert Morris right now. Let me find out where Binghamton is, because I don't see Binghamton anywhere. Yeah, Binghamton didn't qualify. Oh, that's why. Binghamton was dead last in the conference. Oh, boy. See, here's the thing. I'm always used to Binghamton being in the tournament every year. Well, that's terrible. But at least Stony Brook qualified. I don't know how Stony Brook qualified, but they got lucky. Just checking my text. Oh, it's just my friends telling me about my plans in 2 hours. They're just reminding me that, you know, be on time, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, as I do have to leave the air soon. I do have to get ready to leave to go to Franklin Square in a couple of moments. Well, I'm not leaving now. I have to get ready and make sure Teddy Dog goes out and does whatever he needs to do. Let me just check my emails. Any other notifications that are important right now? Okay, we're all good. MTA service status. I'll refresh that anyway just to see if anything else came up on Internet Explorer. Okay, I'll just quickly mention this. The Q111, the Q114 limited bus is being detoured because of flooding on Brookville Boulevard between 149th Avenue and Rockaway Boulevard. Far Rockaway bound buses are going on Guy R. Brewer Boulevard, then making a left on Rockaway Boulevard and then following the regular route. Jamaica bound buses are going on Rockaway Boulevard, right on Guy R. Brewer Boulevard, and then following the regular route. So that's just the other notification I got at the moment. Just quickly going to mention it again. No refreshing my emails. No new information on the Oyster Bay line. That's still suspended on the Long Island Railroad. West Hempstead line still suspended. Port Jefferson trains, they're still subject to delays. No service on the Ronkonkoma line between Hicksville and Ronkonkoma due to the double track project this weekend. That's pretty much it. I have no other updates for everyone at the moment. The best thing I can recommend everybody do right now, I'm not going to be able to be on the air the rest of the day because, as I've said earlier, I am going to be with my friends in Franklin Square for the majority of the day when I leave my house soon. Tomorrow, don't forget Andy Plays is going to go up. That's still going up on time. If there are any other updates with regards to Amtrak, let me see if Amtrak has any updates at the moment. I don't think they will, but let me just see if there's any service resumed between Boston and Washington. Let me see. Amtrak Twitter. Double checking. Yep. Service is still suspended between Washington and Boston. As I said, best thing to do, follow me on Twitter at Andy's Randomness. Follow Matt Kamper. Matt Kamper, 1994. He will be live. He will not be live. He will not be live. But he will do a video about the railroad later tonight. Okay. So that's what he's going to do. Me, as I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, if I can come back to... Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have interesting news. Matt Kamper just texted me. Service is running between Penn and Washington. New York, Penn, and Washington now has service. Okay, so that's good news. That's good news because Amtrak is not tweeting this. Okay, but the good news is there is service back on Amtrak between Washington, D.C. and New York, Penn. But right now, we have no service at all between Boston and New York. No, best thing to do, I said this earlier, go on Amtrak.com. They're probably going to give you the latest information than what Twitter can do. So, yeah, I'm going to leave the air right now because no other information is available. So, again, at Andy's Randomness, I will be tweeting the rest of the afternoon if we have any updates on the Oyster Bay and West Hempstead line. That's still suspended as of 2:30. Any other updates with the EFMR or 7, I will keep you posted. Any other updates with the buses in Queens, I will keep you all posted because we are still going to be seeing a lot of problems with the buses in Queens today after the Noreaster. I'll let you all know if Amtrak will be running service between Boston and New York tonight. We don't know that yet, so that's pretty much it. Take it easy, everyone.